Most men have no idea how close they are to losing a woman, not because they're bad men, not because they don't try hard enough, but because they're blind to the things that actually move her. The little invisible buttons in her mind, the things she doesn't say out loud, the weaknesses she hides carefully behind confidence, beauty, and attitude. And if you don't understand these 7 weaknesses, you will always feel confused, always one step behind, always wondering why she pulls away even when you give her your whole heart. But the moment a man truly understands what I'm about to tell you, something changes. Your presence hits different. Your silence hits different. Your absence hits different. This video isn't about tricks, it's about psychology, the real kind, the kind most men never learn until it's too late. And before we begin, buddy, quick thing. If you love this kind of real talk, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and subscribe, because it helps the channel grow and lets me keep making content that actually makes sense in the real world. Now, let's begin. Weakness 1, the scarcity trigger. Most men spend their whole lives thinking the more they give, the more a woman will care. And honestly, it sounds right in theory. You give your time, you give your attention, you show up, you stay available, you try to make her feel chosen. But strangely, the more you give, the more she drifts. The more you try to be there, the more she pulls back. And the painful part is, you don't even know what you did wrong. Nothing. That's the problem. You gave her everything too easily. You became the man she didn't have to wonder about, didn't have to earn, didn't have to think about at night. And what the male mind sees as effort, the female mind sometimes reads as too much. Not because she's ungrateful or because she doesn't value kindness, but because of how human psychology works. When something feels overly available, the brain automatically lowers its value. It feels safe but not exciting. It feels present but not special. And this is the part most men hate hearing, but it's the truth that changes everything. A woman values the time she does not fully control. When you respond instantly every time, when you're always free, when you drop your whole life to fit into hers, you don't feel rare. You feel like a guarantee, and guarantees don't spark passion. Uncertainty does. The tiny maybe, the small gap, the tiny pause that makes her mind wander and ask herself, what is he doing right now? Why didn't he reply so fast today? Is something different? These questions create motion inside her, and motion creates desire. This isn't about ignoring her or acting cold. It's about having a full life so your presence feels meaningful instead of automatic. It's about showing her that your world doesn't stop moving when she steps out of it. When a woman realizes your time is limited, she values it more. When she sees you're not quick to rearrange everything for her, she senses strength. When she feels like you're living your own life instead of orbiting hers, she feels drawn in. Scarcity doesn't mean being distant. It means being balanced. It means not overgiving. It means not pouring when she's not even sipping. The man who gives everything loses value fast. The man who gives just enough to feel good, but not enough to drown her, becomes unforgettable. Weakness 2, emotional unpredictability. Women don't fall for routine. They fall for feeling alive, feeling curious, feeling unsure in a good way. And this is where emotional unpredictability comes in. Not chaos, not drama, not mood swings, but that natural mix of being a warm man one day and a focused man the next. The kind of subtle emotional movement that makes her think about you instead of casually assuming she already knows everything you feel. A predictable man becomes part of the background. A man she can figure out in 1 week becomes emotionally flat. But a man who shows different layers without trying to act mysterious builds attraction without speaking a word. Men often make the mistake of thinking consistency means constant softness, constant sweetness, constant yes. But real consistency isn't about being the same all the time. It's about being steady in who you are while still having depth. Think about it like this. One day you're fully present with her, talking, laughing, opening up a bit, and the next day you're quieter because you're working on your goals or sorting out your life. You're not cold. You're not avoiding her. You're just busy being a man. And that small shift makes her wonder. Wondering creates interest. Interest creates attachment. Unpredictability doesn't mean being fake. It means being real. It means not forcing smiles when you're tired. It means not replying instantly when you're in the middle of something important. It means some days you're romantic naturally and other days you're more reserved but still grounded. Women can feel this difference and their minds love it. There's real science behind this. The brain releases dopamine when there's uncertainty, and women feel that rush around men who don't serve predictable emotional patterns. If she always knows exactly how you'll act, your value shrinks. If she feels like she's still learning you, still understanding you, still peeling layers away slowly, she stays invested. In her mind, you become a man worth thinking about, a man who isn't one note, a man she can't predict completely. And that small unpredictability, when done naturally, makes her feel something she can't describe. It makes her lean toward you instead of away. Women chase the man they can't fully figure out, as long as he's stable but layered, strong but warm, present but not clingy. Predictable men are easy to forget. Multi-dimensional men are impossible to ignore. Weakness. 3. Social proof and competition. A woman might tell you she doesn't care about competition, but her instincts always do. She pays close attention to how other women react to you, even when she stays quiet about it. When she sees women smiling around you, or laughing at your jokes, or giving you a second look when you walk by, something inside her wakes up. It's not jealousy alone. It's instinct. Women feel drawn to men other women admire. It signals that you're valuable, wanted, noticed. Even if she tries to act unbothered, her mind catches it. This is why a man who sits alone, disconnected, isolated, rarely triggers attraction. But a man who lives socially, who has friends, who moves through life with confidence, who is comfortable around women, naturally rises in value. And it doesn't mean you need to flirt with every woman. Sometimes even having healthy female friendships changes her whole view of you. She sees that other women trust you, other women enjoy being around you, other women respect you, and that automatically tells her you're safe, attractive, worth choosing. When you look emotionally desired in your environment, even subtly, her mind reads it like a green flag. She begins comparing herself without noticing. Why do other women smile at him? What do they see in him? Why do they look at him like that? Those little thoughts push her to pay more attention, to step up, to not lose you. When she thinks she's the only woman who wants you, she relaxes. When she knows other women would gladly take her place, she holds on tighter. But the truth is, most men don't have any social proof because they isolate themselves the moment they like someone. They stop talking to other women. They cut off friendships. They shrink their social life down to one girl, and she feels it. Not in a cute way, in a "he depends too much on me" way. You never want to look like the man who has no options, not because you should juggle people, but because humans desire what others desire. Women are no different. Social proof doesn't mean showing off. It means having a real life, being connected, having friends, being respected by your circle, and never appearing like the man who disappears into a woman's shadow. When you maintain your presence around others, your value grows in her eyes. And when she sees that other women notice you, even just a little, her attraction increases without her choosing it consciously. You become the prize, and the man who is the prize is the man she chases. Weakness 4. Emotional strength in chaos. A woman may admire your looks, enjoy your charm, laugh at your jokes, and feel comfortable with you. But none of those things matter if you crumble when life gets stressful. Women are naturally drawn toward emotional strength. Not the fake kind where a man pretends he doesn't feel anything. Not the cold kind where he shuts down. Real strength. The kind where you stay steady when things get hard. When life throws something heavy at you and you don't collapse under it. When you don't panic. When you think clearly instead of reacting in fear. Men often misunderstand this. They think being emotional means weakness, or they think being emotionless means strength. But both extremes fail. Women want a man who feels, but also stays grounded. A man who gets upset but doesn't lose control. A man who gets stressed but doesn't take it out on everyone. A man who stands tall, not because he's numb, but because he handles things with calmness. Imagine something goes wrong, plans fall apart, money gets tight, someone disrespects you, life hits hard. Many men instantly fold. They complain, they get angry, they blame everyone, they fall into panic. And the moment she sees this repeated pattern, something in her attraction lowers. Not because she's judging you emotionally, but because women need to feel safe with the man beside them. And safety isn't just physical. It's emotional. A woman needs to know that when everything feels unstable, you don't become unstable too. When she cries, you don't cry harder than her. When she worries, you don't double her worry. When she panics, you don't join her panic. You become the calm in the middle of everything. Not silent, not cold, calm. Women connect deeply with men who carry this energy. The man who breathes slowly when things get messy. The man who says, relax, we'll figure it out, and actually means it. The man who thinks straight, even when everything else feels shaky. This kind of emotional strength makes her trust you. It makes her lean on you. It makes her feel something she can't explain. Attraction grows faster around stability than it does around looks or money. And the truth is, many men lose women not because they're bad partners, but because they fall apart too easily. They let stress break them. They let emotions control them. They let fear decide their reactions. Emotional strength isn't about pretending. It's about self-control. It's about learning to breathe before reacting. It's about letting pressure sharpen you instead of crush you. Because when a woman sees that you stay steady, even when life doesn't, she feels safe. And safety is the deepest attraction a woman can feel. Weakness. 5. Purpose over her. Nothing kills attraction faster than a man losing himself in a woman. When she becomes your whole focus, your whole day, your whole happiness, something shifts in her. Not because she's unkind, not because she doesn't appreciate your love, but because a woman wants to feel chosen by a man who is already driven, not by a man who lives only for her attention. Purpose is one of the strongest forms of masculine energy. When a man moves towards something bigger than himself, when he's building something, when he has goals that matter to him, women feel a natural pull toward him. But when a man makes her his purpose, that pull dies slowly. She stops feeling excited. She stops feeling challenged. She stops feeling admiration. She begins feeling responsible for his happiness. And that feeling drains attraction. A man without a mission becomes a man without edge. A man who waits all day for her text becomes a man she stops thinking about. A man who pauses his life for a relationship becomes a man who loses the very thing that once attracted her. Purpose isn't about ignoring her. It's about having a life she steps into, not a life she replaces. It's about waking up with something to chase that isn't her validation. It's about having your own dreams, your own path, your own goals. Women admire men who stand for something. Men who care about more than romance. Men who are building themselves up, working on their craft, improving their lives. A man on a mission doesn't cling, he doesn't beg, he doesn't shrink into her shadow. He loves her but stays driven. He gives her time but doesn't sacrifice everything. He cares but he doesn't lose himself. And that balance is what keeps the attraction alive. A woman feels drawn toward a man with purpose because he feels like a man who knows where he's going. His presence feels strong. His energy feels grounded. His focus inspires her. Purpose makes a man magnetic. It makes him unpredictable in a healthy way. It makes his time valuable. It shapes his confidence and direction. The truth is, purpose is the one thing that keeps a man from becoming needy. When you have something important to work on, you stop needing her approval every second. You stop chasing. You stop panicking when she pulls away. You stop overthinking. You move with clarity. Purpose is the force that keeps your backbone straight when emotions get loud. It protects your identity inside the relationship. It keeps you from losing yourself. And ironically, the more purpose you have, the more attracted she becomes. Women don't want to be your whole life. They want to feel lucky to be part of a man who already had a life worth living. Weakness. 6. Earned attention. Attention is one of the most powerful things a man gives. It's energy, it's presence, it's the feeling of being seen. But the problem is, most men give it away like it costs nothing. constant compliments, constant checking in, constant approval, constant replies, constant watching, liking, reacting. And the more they give, the less it matters to her. Not because she's rude, but because attention has become too easy in the modern day. Every woman receives more attention in 1 week than most men receive in a year. Her inbox is full, her notifications don't stop, and this makes attention cheap. But the moment you stop giving attention freely and start giving it earned, everything changes. When a woman realizes your attention has weight, she treats it differently. When your validation comes naturally instead of endlessly, she starts valuing your words. When she knows she has to show effort to receive your energy, she steps up. Women are not attracted to unlimited attention. They're attracted to rare, genuine, high-quality attention. That means you don't give attention when she's disrespecting you. You don't overpraise her when she's giving you the bare minimum. You don't chase when she's cold. You match her effort. When she shows interest, you respond with warmth. When she invests, you invest. When she treats you well, you show up more. This balance creates value. But earned attention isn't about withholding love. It's about protecting your energy. It's about making sure your effort isn't poured into someone who doesn't pour back. And when she does earn your attention, give it fully. Put the phone down, look at her, listen to her, make that moment feel important. Women notice the difference between forced attention and intentional attention. When your attention becomes something she has to earn, she begins chasing it. She thinks before pulling away. She tries harder to stay in your good side. She respects your time more. She values your presence more. And you no longer feel like another guy in her notifications. You become the man whose attention feels meaningful, the man whose presence feels rare, the man she doesn't want to lose. Weakness. 7. The power of walking away. This is the final weakness and the most important one. The ability to walk away is the strongest power a man has in dating, not because walking away is dramatic, not because it punishes her, but because it shows her the one thing most men don't have: self-worth. Most men lose women because they hold on too tight. They accept disrespect. They accept mixed signals. They accept being taken for granted. And they stay, thinking loyalty alone will win her over. But loyalty without self-respect becomes weakness in her eyes. When a woman knows you won't walk away, she stops trying. She stops caring. She stops valuing your effort. But when she realizes you're a man who can leave if things become unhealthy, the entire energy shifts. Not because she fears losing you like a possession, but because she respects you as a man with standards, a man who doesn't settle, a man who isn't scared of being alone. Walking away doesn't mean giving up easily. It means knowing the line. It means understanding the difference between patience and self-betrayal. It means you're not willing to destroy your peace to keep someone who doesn't value it. And when you walk away gracefully and without drama, without shouting, without begging, it hits differently. Silence speaks in a way words never can. She feels it in her chest. She realizes you weren't attached in a weak way. You were choosing her. And a man who chooses her instead of needing her becomes the man she respects the most. Women don't want a man who stays no matter how badly he's treated. They want a man who stays because he's valued. And the man who can walk away is rare today. He's grounded. He's centered. He's rooted in himself. And ironically, he becomes the man she fears losing the most. If you learned something from this, buddy, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Psych Pathway, and drop a comment telling me which weakness surprised you the most. It helps the channel grow and lets me keep giving you real psychology that actually helps you in life, love, and relationships. Stay sharp, stay grounded, stay in your power. See you in the next one.